Religion is deeply about identity. You know, I mean, I will know people today, I'm thinking now of adults I know, who probably have not stepped foot in a mosque, synagogue, or church in 20 years. They have probably not really celebrated any of the specific holy days of those religions in 20 years. And yet if you were to ask them something about themselves, or if they would introduce themselves or somehow get in a conversation, invariably something will come up where they identify themselves of that religion. Or they'll say something about that religion, how it's part of their, they're connected to it. And so whether we practice it or not, religion becomes part of our identity in a way that is can be threatened fairly easily. So when an individual feels that part of themselves being threatened, whether they're actually being threatened or not, when someone senses that this aspect of them is, that the very core of what they are is being challenged, and not just challenged, but is being diminished or denigrated or offended or discarded or abused, the response can be very, very, very passionate, and it can be very powerful, and it can be very violent. And so what begins to happen is that people feeling this sort of attack against themselves push back. And that pushback can take on many forms. Now, this is in no way is it condoning genocide or violence. Because the ironic thing, of course, is that in so many cases, religions preach against violence. And yet, in the name of that religion, people have engaged in violence.